Get cooler, it'll get warmer, it's called weather, but I don't believe that what they say. I think it's a big scam for a lot of people to make a lot of money.
The United States of America has faced a lot of controversy after electing Donald Trump as their president, who has openly stated that he does not believe in climate change. But how is this newfound acceptance toward climate denial going to affect the constant advances in scientific studies and the many researchers who have devoted their life to environmental studies in hopes of saving our planet before it's too late?
I know that his administration is interested in stopping some climate monitoring that's happening, and that's really dangerous because even if it stops for just a few days or a few months, that's a huge amount of data that we're losing, and we can't ever get that back. So even if that's not impacting someone's ideas right now, it could change the way that we think about it in the future.
Michael Mann, a climatologist, created the hockey stick chart that clearly showed how human activity has raised CO2 levels, trapping greenhouse gases in the atmosphere, thus warming the planet. Now the question is the many fake news and a climate-denying president affecting people's trust in science?
I was at a conference a few years ago, and there were people outside who were protesting at a scientific conference because Michael Mann happened to be there, and they were making jokes about the hockey stick. And it was weird. I actually went out and talked to them to try and figure out why they were so sort of worked up about it. And it didn't really. I don't know. It was fairly unsatisfying, but there needs to be some engagement on it because the science is really pretty clear. We've known that CO2 is a greenhouse gas since the 19th century. So the fact that we've got more of it in the atmosphere, we know where it's coming from. It's really pretty straightforward.
Fake news is a growing phenomenon that is making it hard for many people to distinguish between what is real and what isn't. Could that be one of the reasons why people are more hesitant to believe anything at all, even if it's scientific evidence?
What the news says is genuinely biased, so you have to look at it from an unbiased point of view, which is almost impossible.
News reporting would be better if they news reports, instead of trying to presenting what they call both sides, when both sides are not equivalent or equal.
Bias in the news is simply a reality, but during the presidential election and since the installation of the Trump administration, it's become increasingly harder to find reliable sources, thus making it easier to believe a false reality. In an effort to reverse the effect of fake news, presenting both sides became a new problematic term. Is it possible that scientific advances and the effort to save the planet is being overshadowed by the many so-called other sides?
I think people, now that Trump is president, more people will deny it, but the thing is, when there's scientific evidence, they just sound stupid.
The president has made climate denial more mainstream, and that is a big problem because it makes it seem like there should be equal weight put on climate change denial, and people who know about the reality of climate change.
It's frustrating. It's disheartening. Frankly, it's kind of depressing.
It's clear that many fake news, biased information, the rising normality of climate denial, and a denying government is impacting the scientific world. Less funding, loss of data, and a struggle to gain the people's trust could quickly diminish the advances in climate research. If we don't find a way to quickly convince the world of the gravity of our climate situation, the consequences could be far closer than initially thought. What will the consequences be if we've already exceeded our carbon budget in 20 years?